All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone. This is Shadow in the Pond, as always. So we have a very, very busy day, and I also want to show you something while we do this conversation. So I have been working a little bit off stream, as you can see. I've went ahead and started the stairs here, and I realized building a road, while I find it very interesting, is very time consuming and very kind of uninteresting for the most part, mainly because, well, you're seeing me put down blocks in the exact same pattern over and over and over and over and over and over again. So instead of having you watch that, I came up with an idea. I'm gonna do a lot of this off stream. So what we're gonna be writing down right now is the actual road of that I have built, and this does take a minute to write down. So as you can see, I have went out of my way to try to make sure I'm not like tearing up the environment and stuff too much. I did have to cut down a couple trees here and there, but for the most part, I tried to leave every tree and like obstacle standing. And this will also bring in a bunch of new projects, mainly bridges, that we will be working on in the future as well. Gosh dang, I'm not even out of the forest section yet. I'm almost there. But yeah, so this is the road that I'm constructing, and I still need to go through and add in the lights and the side section. I don't know if I'm gonna put the tuff in on here because that is a little meh. Like the tuff isn't like really all that matters, but all this come together looks great. And then you have right out and the sun coming up from the east, so cool. Okay, so here's bridge number 1 that we will have to make. But then we continued along the coast for quite some time. But yeah, so here's the road that I've been constructing. This has taken quite some time to build. But now we are going to get into what we'll be doing today. So I've actually come up with a thought process of I want the entire upper section of my place flooded. To give it like a lake behind the temple and everything, and then that the bridge that we were next to at the start will be a connecting point to the path up the tower. So that brings in a couple of things. I want to make like some type of structure or statue type of deal that will guide the water into the area. I keep taking my hand off my mouse to like gesture. You can't see that, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I want to make like almost like a dam-like structure where there's a statue on the side, and that's where water flows down into the river below, while keeping that entire area flooded. And I think I might move the okay. I'm gonna move the waterfall up the mountain more, and then have that so it's falling even further down the mountain. And that way it gives a much grander kind of effect to it. Because I love the waterfall right where it's at, but I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger. A little longer, should we say. But then, so that is the first thing we're going to be working on, is that. And then also, I want to finish up, funnily enough, I built all this road outside of all of our chats and everything, of doing everything along those lines. But what I will be doing is, since I built all this road, we need now build one up the mountain to where the statue will eventually be. Which I do have a setup to build that now, so that is all set as well. We are going to be making some fabulous work, and here, somehow I spoke until the end of the road. I don't know how I did this, but here we are. So from here, once we have completed the statue and done some other stuff, we will be, like, I want to complete the road all the way up to this point. We will be building an underwater bridge, not an above water one, but we're going to do underwater across here and connecting up here. And then we will do a sprint back to spawn, probably like along this route. Because I want to avoid anyone's builds if possible. So I'll probably have to go along here because that's close. So, whee! And like come up around here. And then we will wrap in and come over here. So, that is plans. Now I have to get back to my house to even start doing any of this. But that's the plans for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on filling up my reservoir with water. And we will see everyone back in just a moment. And welcome back, everybody. So yeah, after I had a little super fast terraform mode. Oh, okay. After that super fast terraform mode, I am absolutely loving how this lake is coming about. So because of this lake, we now have multiple different projects. I mean, this looks so gorgeous. Look at this. It fits so nicely in with like the backdrop and gives that extra little texture to the area that I was kind of missing before. I'm like, man, it looks good, but there's just a lot of blank area. So yeah, I'm really happy how this has turned out. But this has brought about a couple new projects. So first off, there is the dam that I am building, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. So let's head over towards the dam. So here is the dam that we're going to have for this little area. I am going to make it wider, but this is the basic look of it. Now, it's not going to be stay as massive stone blocks. I'm thinking of doing some marble, or quartz, not marble, some quartz, and I'm trying to play with like different ideas of the way it's going to look. That is all still a work in progress, so I need to figure that out, and that's something we're going to be working on here soon. So there is always that. And secondly, the lake is a bit too bright, so we need to put some mud in there. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now. The mud is a great texture to add to the lake because it will actually darken everything up and make it contrast a bit more. And then we have our little nook, a little nook away right here. But yeah, so this will make a great contrast with everything. Deleted the entire forest here. I initially thought of making it go down this way, but then I don't know why I decided against that. I was like, nah, I'm gonna block this side off, and I'm gonna make the dam and everything on this side because I want to make it have like a waterfall that's falling out of it. And so yeah, there is all that going to go on. I have some great ideas for the dam that you will see eventually. Ha 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 ha. But first, we are going to go ahead and make all of this dirt and everything a little bit darker in here. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out in just a moment. So see everybody in just a second. Bye. And we are back. Okay, so short break for you, long for me again. Surprisingly, putting mud everywhere takes a minute. And by the way, just a heads up, you definitely 100% want to mute your audio if you're going to do something like this. Because picking up the water makes a sound, and when you're just underwater putting mud everywhere, it just is on repeat. The sound. It's mind-numbing. So, you know, just go ahead and mute the game sounds while you're doing that, or else you will drive yourself crazy. So I do really love the way this looks. However, now it's a bit too monotone of a color. Which, funnily enough, because before the brown was also too monotone of color, but it was too bright in the dark waters. So that's why I was like, okay, so what can we go ahead and do? So this is when I'm watching Good Time Scar and some other people from Hermitcraft, and they all have done water stuff as well. Most of them just did the mud, but Scar did go above and beyond and like literally made rocks and stuff for his water's edge. And I really think that this needs that as well as just like some greenery in the water to break up the contrast of everything going on here. So what I was kind of thinking of doing, and let me just go ahead and jump into the water right now. Alright, so I'm going to go around and fill this place with some, not full with life, because we're going to like alternate some stuff around. But you know, just actually bring life to this area. And, ooh, I could get some axolotls as well. That would be really good. But yeah, as you can see, it's already starting to look a bit more alive. And then I'm going to come through, and we're going to add some tough areas in here to just, like, give this some, like, breakdown of, like, we're going to put some, like, tough here. Give it, like, a breakdown of, like, a rock. So we'll do, like, something like this. Something along those lines. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Break that down a little bit. Change up some of these areas to like mud. And I have some roots in here, so let's make some rooted dirt. Bam. All right, and that can go over by some trees, some rooted dirt. But then, yeah, we put some mud, and bam, there we go. Like, around the rocks, and some more down here. And we can turn, like, some of this into... I don't like that, so we'll change that. But yeah, the edge, mud, probably let's do some cobblestone, deep slate cobblestone rocks, something like this. That was too much. Let me pull this top section away. Put that back. Put it there. All right, there we go. But yeah, then we come through and change some more of this over into... Ooh, maybe this would be a good spot for some of the rooted dirt. Ooh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So like some rooted dirt here. And then some more mud right here. We come through here and wait, can this no okay. Put some greenery around. Alright. And ooh, maybe do this. Just to kind of bring this into more. Okay. There we go. And then also I'll put in some smaller trees like over there because I really like how those trees are hanging over the water. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking to do, like, for most of the surrounding of the pond, outside of, like, 1 or 2 areas where you'll be able to, like, walk up or see the pond, like, from here. But yeah, of course it's getting dark out right now. Ooh, very few people on the server right now, so that's good. So we're going to sleep and see this in the daylight to see how this is looking out. Yeah, there's a lot of this is just going to be touch and feel, like, okay, a little bit over here, a little bit there. And I feel like it'll bring this area to life a lot more. I love how this started out with, I'm just going to make a pond. And then I was like, I'm going to make a dam. And now I'm like, I'm going to decorate everything in underwater. Alright, there we go, sleeping through the night. Okay, so... there we go. Whee! Saw the inside of my face. Alright, okay, so yeah, I really like how that's gonna look. I'm probably gonna have to come through and maybe I'll put, like, some rocks up towards that area as well. Because I just, like... again, this is very specific to the temple area. But that's not loaded in. But yeah, put, like, rocks all the way up to the temple. And then here's going to be the bridge. Which is also something we need to try to finish up. But yeah, I really like how that breaks up. And then I can put some rocks and, like, stuff, different coloration into here as well. And, like, underwater as well. The greenery helps so much immediately. Yeah, that looks already better. Yeah. I don't want to be too crazy. Like, I think that middle area has a bit too much greenery. I want to be a little sparse with it, but the greenery definitely helps bring stuff alive. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on getting some more of this put in. Oh, horse, let me up. Horse, let me up. Got it. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that is what I'm kind of planning for some of this because, because I do like the green and the flower look around it, but I think having a better contrast behind everything would be better. Okay, and welcome back from that little quick terraforming phase. So it's not exactly where I want it, which is a little frustrating because I do like what I've kind of done here, but I don't like the structure of the rocks. They feel off. How do I say? I don't know, like, it's not that I hate them. It's just, I feel like they should be a bit more, like, straight up. Or have more, like, gaps on them. Like, not gaps. But more verticality to them. And somehow, like, a bit more of a sharpness. Maybe like this. And have this, like, drop down by a double instead of single. Maybe that is what I'm missing. Like, I was trying to make them too flat because this is supposed to be a little bit of like a spiky area. Okay, but then I kind of run into the problem of, like, now it's not big enough. I'm not... I gotta play with this a lot more to kind of, like, get the forms of the rocks down. The reason I stopped the suppress thing mode, because I do think this is good enough for right now. I'll probably play with this every now and then when I'm just messing around with things. Like, okay, like that's too square. So, now that I looked at it, but if I did this... There we go, that adds a nice little dimension to it. This one I think is good. There's a flat edge, and this one I think is pretty good. Then I added a bunch of little pebbles running throughout here just to add some texture. And then at the end, once I get the dam fully built, I'm probably going to have a road that connects all the way around this outer area. It just is like a recreational road and like some benches and stuff along the river, the lake side to bring together like this nice little park environment type of deal. So yeah, that I definitely there's surprisingly this took like just doing these minor things took like 3 hours. It's weird how long terraforming can take you. Sometimes no time at all. You're good to go and you knock it all out without any issue. You're not even questioning what you're doing. You're like, I know exactly what I'm doing. Why did I do that right there? That doesn't look good. Dirt. Oop. Okay. Bring that up one. Bring that there. I want to leave that like that. Okay. And I do like what I did with the waterfall. It does bring that a lot more together. Because now it's like, oh, hey, you can see where it's like overflowed in the past. And, oh, maybe I should make this like packed dirt because it's been dried. Since it's off to the side of it. Yeah, that'll be a good idea. So I'll come back there and make this packed dirt to kind of like show that this is dirt that has, like, it overflows and kills the grass there pretty consistently. But while doing that, it's also not all the time that happens. So it's kind of just packed dirt. Or packed mud is what I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna probably bring that out, make that packed mud. And then that'll give this a nice little contrast of lighter to darker to darker to darkest. Which again, I really like how the waterfall turned out that I've done. I was thinking of doing more of these trees, but I kind of like how they framed and they're not overly too much of them. So I'm gonna leave those alone. And now it's time to go ahead and get started on the dam. So I have a couple different ideas I've come up with for the dam. But my idea that I'm definitely going to run with is the theme and structures. And I wish I would have come up with this much sooner in this area because I could have probably incorporated it more. We're going to have this moon. So what I'm thinking of doing is having the an outer, like we're going to have the dam be like 4 blocks wide. And then on the outer section, we're going to have the moon, the crescent moon, being carried up over the dam like a roof. That was the way we have the inside of it. And where the star would be, we'll actually mark that on the underwater of the dam. And that'll be the opening mechanism for the dam. So it'll probably be on this side somewhere. And then I'll probably make another one on the other side. And then also I've realized I'm going to have to, like, once I make the width of the dam, I'm probably going to have to bring down this area some. So that it, like, the dam has a longer fall off on it. But that's all future shadow problems, or current shadow problems, actually, because that's currently what I'm doing. I'm probably going to leave the massive stone bricks, because that's just my road structure. And so this is going to be like 4 wide all the way over here. And then, yeah, and then we're going to probably end up making a road all the way around the lakeside, probably like up here. The road's going to be probably like 2 wide instead of like 4, just because it's meant to be a small little walkway, not a main road. And maybe, I might do, idea. We're going to do that one out of like packed bricks or something like that. Packed mud bricks, because I want it to be a lighter color and not something that's as harsh. Well, not harsh, but like not made out of stone. So then, yeah, then that will make this into, well, the entrance into this area and the connection point over to here. Because we're going to connect this over to here. So that will be made out of massive stone bricks because, you know, you're getting to that. But the rest of the pathway around the house and everything is either going to be made out of a cobblestone lime, because I kind of already have that structure set up here, or it will be out of mud bricks, and I think that'll bring together a lot. And then I'll make, like, again, like little bench places and like really bring this all together. Those are a couple of my thoughts that are running along with this right now. So we're going to go ahead and start on one of those thoughts, which is the dam process that we are starting. I love how this all started with me going like, well, I want to make a river. Well, now I got to decorate it. Now I got to decorate it more. Now let's bring it into more of a story point with this area. I don't know how I keep doing that, but I do. And I kind of like it because it gives me a lot more motivation to build than if I was just kind of randomly building. So I'm very happy with that. I like just the right amount of greenery in there. I need to get some fish, like actual live fish in there, and maybe some axolotls or something to give like some nice life movement. Num 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 num. Some nice life moving objects in here to because that will actually attract the eyes a lot and make things feel a little better. All right, so we are going to go ahead and hit up that super fast. Yeah, we'll maybe not super fast, but I'm going to start doing the construction of the dam, and I'll see if we're back here. Super fast, let's go. And welcome back, everybody, from that super fast build mode, clear mode. This is so awesome looking. This was a lot of work. I won't lie. It's always surprising how much digging is so much work in Minecraft. Because when you do a large project like this, digging takes up an exponentially more time than you ever thought of. So, what are we going to be doing with this? Well, I've had some of these ideas came about due to when I first started digging everything out. I didn't really care for how I was seeing in my mind's eye how like the water would run down the area and connect up. I just couldn't feel like it didn't feel right. So I was like, okay, let's make it a full damn lake. And so then that's what I did. I went ahead and brought everything down and made this entire area out flat. And now I've had some better ideas in the future that I'm going to hopefully touch base on and iron out a bit more before bringing them to paper into fruition in this area, to bring it more into this like religious theme type deal that I'm been building out in this area. So that is something I'm planning on doing here soon. I definitely have enough stone to finish the road and enough stone to hopefully build out the statue I'm working on. Well, I definitely have enough stone to do that, but it's going to be a lot of different rocks, so it should be enough. So those are the two big things right now of what I'm needing to build out. Funnily enough, we started today going, I'm going to build a bridge and a road up to the mountaintop. And you know what? We'll fill the top with water. Gosh, that went off the rails so fast. That didn't even stay on the rails for 10 seconds. I was off the rails literally right after I finished I started the water and I was already going off the rails because look how good this area looks now. I am loving it. I love the rocks that are in there. It really fills out the water. I love the little rocky area right there. I love the pebbles. Those are all the chests all full. Those are all chests all full. Well, almost all full. I used some of the stone to build out the dam. We need to figure out some decorations for this big dam structure to kind of like make it not just a plain wall. I do think that will come into the factor of when I'm building the crescent moon section across the bridge. So I think that's going to be a big section of doing the decorations as well as the waterfalls and everything else that are going to go along with it. So I'm not really overly worried about that. I do need some brainstorming ideas. If you have any ideas at all for what I can do with these side walls, I will accept all comments because I have no idea what I'm doing with that just yet. Yeah, so here is the base plan for everything right now, and I think it's going to come along pretty well. I really do. But once again, this is Shadow in the Pond, and boy, am I exhausted. I have just recently finished up editing everything up, but this last little section. So you should be seeing this out here soon. I don't know why I'm saying that. If you're watching this, it's out. But as always, thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a great day. Shadow, peace out.